Hello, welcome to my channel, Correct Biology. My name is Dr. Vikash Bhardwaj. In this video, you are going to learn patterns of inheritance. So here you are going to learn different types of inheritance which are generally found in the case of human being. So here we are going to discuss how different disease actually they are being transmitted, how different traits, characters they are being transmitted in the case of human being. Now I just want to remind you that we have discussed about Mendelian laws of inheritance. We have discussed Mendel's work. Now we have discussed Mendel's work in the case of pea plant. There you have learned that there are going to be factors like unit factor. They can be of two types. One, it can be dominant. Another, it can be recessive. And we have discussed that generally the dominant factor, they are being expressed in the F1 generation, while the recessive factors, they will be expressed only when these factors, they are in homozygous condition. So hopefully you have learned clearly monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, and you have clearly understood the Mendelian work. Now we will discuss how this Mendelian work can be applied in the case of human. Now here, if you remember the Mendelian work, I have told you that unit factor, okay, today we call it genes, okay, these factors they can be same, the homozygous condition. In homozygous condition, what you are going to see, the unit factors, genes, they are going to be same, while unit factors, they can be different in heterozygous condition. For example, if you remember capital T, small t, okay, so this is going to represent the heterozygous condition. So here, hopefully you remember this one, it is the dominant factor. This will be expressed in the F1 generation, and this is also the law of dominance. The unit factor, out of the unit factor which is dominant, that will be expressed in the F1 generation. What you are going to see, you are going to see the phenotype here tall. Now you see another situation, capital T, when both the factors they are homozygous, okay. So here you will see the expression of the homozygous factor. Here it is, the dominant factor is present, you are going to see the phenotype tall. Now see this situation, small t, both the alleles, both the factors, they are present in homozygous condition, and here the recessive factors, it will be expressed because the dominant factor is absent. So here what we are going to see, dwarf phenotype. Now this is the basic thing, and these basic points we are going to apply, and later we are going to see how different disease they are being transmitted, they are being passed from one generation to next generation in the case of human being. So here keep in mind the different types, patterns of inheritance can be in case of human being. One, it can be autosomal inheritance. Another, it can be X-linked inheritance. One is autosomal inheritance, another is X-linked inheritance. Yes, there can be third type of inheritance, that is mitochondrial inheritance. Okay, that we will discuss when we are going to discuss extra chromosomal inheritance. Now try to see here. Today we are going to discuss about autosomal inheritance and X-linked inheritance, which is being found in case of human being. Keep in mind, autosomal inheritance can be of two types: autosomal dominant inheritance and autosomal recessive inheritance. Same way, X-linked inheritance, it can be of two types: X-linked dominant inheritance and X-linked recessive inheritance. Okay, so we are going to discuss autosomal dominant inheritance, autosomal recessive inheritance, X-linked dominant inheritance, X-linked recessive inheritance with examples. And be with me, it is quite easy to understand. So here, let's take the first case, autosomal dominant inheritance. Now here I just want to tell you, in the case of human being, you know that we are going to have 46 chromosomes. Out of the 46 chromosomes, okay, this is going to make 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, so what we are going to see, 22 pairs, they are autosomes, and one pair is going to be the sex chromosome. Okay, so here in case of human beings, remember we are going to have 46 chromosomes, and here you can say we are going to have 23 pairs, 22 pairs are autosomes, and one pair is sex chromosome. Yes, generally in case of normal female, you are going to see 2 X chromosome, and in case of male, you are going to see XY. So hopefully it is clear what is autosomal. The inheritance, autosomal inheritance due to autosome. If your unit factors, they are present on autosomes, then they will be passed from one generation to next generation in a manner that is known as autosomal inheritance. So here what we are going to discuss, autosomal dominant inheritance. Now in case of autosomal dominant inheritance, I just want to tell you there are certain cases. For example, there is a disease that is Marfan syndrome. Okay, then you have the disease that is Huntington disease. Okay, please check the spelling if I have written wrong. Okay, then third is neurofibromatosis type 1. Okay, so these are some examples of autosomal dominant inheritance. Now here let's take this disease, neurofibromatosis type 1. What actually happened here? There is formation of tumor of the nervous tissue. So there is formation of tumor within the nervous tissue, and later what we are going to see, skin and skull deformities. Now here in case of dominant, you know very well, if the dominant allele is present single time, even in the heterozygous condition it will be expressed. So here keep in mind, in the case of dominant allele, it will be expressed in the heterozygous condition also. So here let's suppose you are going to have one individual. Okay, so here the dominant allele is present and we are representing the small. Here we are not going to take the sex. Yes, in the case of human being, the union cross will be, one will be male, another will be female. Now here if you see, the one parent is going to suffer from the disease. It is having the dominant allele. Now if you cross it with a normal, okay, the normal one is going to have both recessive allele. Okay, now try to see here. It is going to produce two type of gametes, capital N and small n. Here you are going to see there will be synthesis of one type of gamete. You circle it. Now what can be the chance, what kind of progenies will be in the next generation? You can easily predict. Just make the Punnett square. So here it is capital N, small n, then here you see capital N, okay, so sorry, this is, here you are going to take small n, okay, this is n, okay, then you are going to see small n, small n. Now here you can see there is a 50% chance, 50% chance that the next progeny will be normal. Here you see there is 50% chance that next progeny, irrespective of sex, they will be abnormal. They are going to suffer from the disease. So let us suppose here that you are going to have 4 children. There is a probability that out of these 2 they are going to suffer from disease, 2 are going to be normal. This is going to tell you the probability. Here chance might happen that there are going to be 4 children and none is going to have the disease. None is going to have the disease. Try to think here. This is going to tell you the probability, the chance, not the actuality. So here, yes, as per science, that there is a probability that out of 4, the 50% they are going to suffer from the disease. But here there might be chance that every time these parents, they are going to give rise to normal individuals. There is a chance. So here keep in mind, okay, so this is going to tell you the probability what can be the occurrence of the disease. Next here, if you see the another condition, that is autosomal recessive inheritance. Autosomal recessive inheritance. Now, in the case of autosomal recessive inheritance, keep in mind the heterozygous individuals, they are normal, while the homozygous individuals carrying the recessive allele, they are going to suffer from the disease. And here I just want to tell you the best example. So some of the examples like cystic fibrosis. Now in the case of cystic fibrosis, what is going to happen? There is accumulation of thick mucus. There is accumulation of thick mucus in lungs and digestive tract, and due to this the patients, they are going to feel lot of problem. So here there are other diseases like sickle cell anemia, Tay-Sachs disease, then phenylketonuria. All these are example of autosomal recessive inheritance. Try to see here. Here, let's suppose you are going to have the genotype capital C, small c. So this individual, okay, it is not going to suffer from the disease. Okay, yes, you are going to have normal. Okay, capital C, capital C. So this is going to carry the disease, but this one is not going to carry the disease. Okay, now let's suppose there is cross in between them. Okay, so here you are going to see the reproduction of two types of gametes, capital C and small c. Here you are going to have capital C, capital C. Now here you see after the cross what can be the probability. So you solve it, capital C, small c. Okay, sorry, this is also capital C, capital C, capital C. This is small c, capital C. Okay, this is small c, capital C. Again do this, capital C, capital C. So here if you see that these individuals, okay, they are carrier. They are not going to suffer from the disease because here you are going to have only one copy of the allele. And I have told you, in case of autosomal recessive inheritance, if both the alleles they are homozygous, only in that condition the recessive allele will be expressed. Now take another situation. Okay, take another situation. Let's suppose there is one carrier, okay, marries to another carrier. Both are carrier. So in earlier case, what we saw, there was none persons going to suffer from the disease, but there were carrier. So here you see, this is also the carrier, this is also the carrier. So here you are going to see formation of two types of gamete, capital C and small c. Here also you are going to see capital C and small c. Now if you solve this by Punnett square, okay, so if you solve this by Punnett square, okay, this is capital C, small c, okay, then capital C and small c, okay, so this is small c. Now if you solve this, capital C, capital C, capital C, small c, capital C, small c, small c, small c. So here what you are going to see, that this individual is going to suffer from the disease. Yes, here you are going to have 25% carrier, but this one is going to carry the disease. This is going to be the carrier. They can have the normal life. Yes, this one is going to have normal life. So here you can calculate that 25% will be normal. Yes, 50% they are going to act like carrier, and again the 25% they will be going to suffer from disease. So here if you see, in the case of autosomal recessive inheritance, both of the parents, if both of the parents they are going to have these unit factors responsible for disease, they will transmit the disease to the children. Both. Now in the case of autosomal dominant inheritance, one parent is responsible for passing the disease. In case of autosomal recessive inheritance, both of the parents they are responsible for passing the disease. So hopefully this point is clear in your mind. Now let us discuss X-linked dominant. X-linked inheritance. Okay. Now you know that in case of human beings, if you are going to have two X chromosome, the individual will be female, X and Y you are going to have male. Now here I just want to give you one best example of X-linked dominant inheritance is rickets. Rickets. Hopefully you know in this disease what we are going to see, there is a deficiency of vitamin D. They are unable to synthesize vitamin D. Now here for simplicity I am going to take, let's suppose you are going to have father, okay, and it is going to carry the mutated gene, okay, it is present on the X chromosome, which is going to cause the disease rickets, XR, and you know in the here you are going to have the Y chromosome. So this is the parent one, father, he is suffering from the disease rickets. Now if he marries to a normal, okay, so here now you can easily predict what can be the probability whether the offsprings they are going to suffer from disease or not in the next generation. Try to solve here. Here it is going to produce two type of gametes. Okay, I am doing it directly. Okay, let's solve this. Here one will be XRX. Okay, next here you see XRX, YX, YX. Now try to see here in this cross, father was carrying the disease rickets. Okay, now try to see here, this is male normal, this is male normal, this is female. Yes, they are going to carry the disease rickets because the dominant allele is present. Here also dominant allele is present. Now here you think that 100% of the daughter they are going to suffer from the disease. Yes, son, they are normal. So earlier the disease was in father, now the disease get transferred into daughter. And this is going to happen in the case of X-linked dominant inheritance. Now you can have another situation, you can play, okay, here let's suppose you are going to have mother, she is the carrier, and let's suppose she marries to a normal man. Okay, so here now you can predict easily X, okay, X, Y, XR, X, XR, Y. So here earlier the disease was in mother was having the rickets. Now here you see this one is female normal, this is male normal, here it is female but it is going to have the disease rickets. Here this is male, it is going to have the disease rickets. So here you can see 50% of the male or female they are going to suffer from the disease when mother is having that dominant allele. So hopefully it is quite easy to predict what will be the probability. I am saying this is going to tell you the probability. Next here, if you see the case of X-linked recessive inheritance. X-linked recessive inheritance. Here I just want to tell you this type of inheritance is more common. More common. Why? Because here what we are going to see, the females, generally they are the carriers. Yes, the females, they will have normal phenotype. They are going to have normal phenotype, but they will pass the disease. Yes, here you see the best example is color blindness. Color blindness. Second is hemophilia. And here you are also going to see some forms of muscular dystrophy. Now try to see here, okay, that let's suppose you are going to have the condition XXC, okay, marries to XY. So here this is the female, okay, it is carrier, it is going to carry the gene. Now let's suppose there is marriage. Now you can see how many different types of progeny can be in the next generation. XX, okay, XY, XCX, XCY. Now try to see here, this is normal, this is normal, this is carrier, okay, but she is also normal, female. Here you see male, not normal, going to suffer from the disease. Okay, so here you see there is a 25% chance, there is 25% chance that the next generation is going to suffer from the disease. Who? The male. Yes, here you see this female is going to act like a carrier. Okay, so these are normal. Yes, you can play, you can have another situation like this one, XXC, okay, XCY. Here mother is the carrier and father is suffering from the disease. Okay, you can play. Okay, so here XXC, then XY, XCXC, then XCY. So here now you can easily predict. Okay, so this is going to be carrier, this normal, this one, yes, it is going to suffer from the disease. Yes, here also you are going to see it is going to suffer from the disease. Here you see it is female, this is male. Okay, so here you can predict the chance, probability. Okay, so here you can predict the probability chance quite easily. So hopefully you have clearly understood different patterns of inheritance with respect to certain examples, and please do like, share the video and subscribe to my channel Correct Biology. Thank you for watching this. Have a nice time.